So if you don't live in Minnesota, you are not going to laugh nearly as hard at some of the jokes in this movie as the people in my theater did. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell and this is once again coming from my apartment. Now today we're going to be talking about the film Manchester by the Sea. Now, this one's been getting a lot of Oscar buzz in the last couple weeks, so obviously I've been very keen on seeing this thing. It has Casey Affleck and Lucas Hedges as in the main lead roles, and so it's supposed to be really good. Been very curious to see it, and let's talk about it. Now, as I said, Casey Affleck is the lead star of this film. He plays this uncle who very quickly into the film learns that his brother has passed away, leaving him to take care of his nephew. And so the performance that Casey Affleck gives in regards to that as a character is very good. I really enjoyed seeing him on screen. I thought that he really captured this very distant emotional take on this character, as he's someone who generally is very passive, doesn't really care that much to really experience life. You have a scene where you have some girls trying to hit on him and he just completely doesn't respond to it at all. And so you kind of figure out who this character is as a person really quickly into this film. And that just kind of plays out throughout the rest of it as he responds to having to try to raise this teenage kid. Lucas Hedges also in this film, he plays a teenage kid. I also enjoyed him in the film. He had a very interesting reaction to his father's death. And it's very similar to Affleck in that regard. While you could tell he was affected by it, he wasn't crippled by it. He had a support system of friends to rely on. And so that's really what he ended up using to absorb the impact of his dad's death. And you just see that play out through the course of the film and see it eventually affect him very personally. Now, one thing about Casey Affleck's character, Lee, is that he is a very emotionally crippled character, and you get that right away, like I said. And I thought that the film did a very good job in regards to playing out basically how he came to be so emotionally crippled. And it does that throughout a series of flashbacks. There are flashbacks throughout this film in which we see the dad with a young Patrick, who's the kid, and Casey Affleck, and you get to see the beginnings of their relationship and how Casey Affleck and Lucas Hedges had just a very fun uncle-nephew relationship growing up. And you get to see basically how that relationship kind of became a little bit more distant after tragedy hits Lee's life. I also felt like the film dealt with the idea of death very well. It's very grounded, very realistic. It didn't try to just dramatize it to an unrealistic degree. It felt like a very real reaction that these characters had based on the traits that we know about them. I feel like it was a genuine reaction that a teenager in this situation would deal with. I feel like Casey Affleck is this guy who basically lives on his own, just lives life as he really needs to, is thrust into this world of responsibility. I think he reacted very accurately. And I thought that the film just dealt with the whole concept very well. Now, that being said, as much as I did enjoy the film, it is very slow. There are often times where I found myself bored or nodding off and had to just quick snap myself out of it. But that is an issue if you are not a fan of slow moving movies. This probably isn't going to be the one that you want to go see in the theaters, because it is about 2 hours 15 minutes long, and so it's going to take a long time to get through. And then also, it's not going to be the most relatable film for everybody, because I think part of the emotional appeal and why this thing is getting such fabulous reviews is that a lot of people are able to put themselves either in the shoes of Casey Affleck or Lucas Hedges' characters in regards to either losing either a father or a close family member, or being the person who has to kind of be the person who has to take care of the people grieving in that case. And so I think a lot of people are able to put themselves in those shoes, and that's why the film is being relatable for so many people. Me personally, I haven't had to really experience either of those things, so I wasn't able to really put myself in as many of those situations, and so it didn't really appeal to me as much, but I still really appreciated what it was trying to do as a film. The chemistry between Casey Affleck and Lucas Hedges also worked very well, as well as the use of music throughout the film. It's used very sparingly, and that's something which I really find interesting as a musical choice when directors choose to use just like a song here or there, and then just keep really no orchestration going on for the rest of the film. It's just a really interesting choice to make, because it really relies on the actors' performances to create emotional scenes and not just rely on music to elevate those. Guys, overall, I thought that Manchester by the Sea is a good movie. I definitely say check it out if you have the opportunity. It is expanding more and more throughout the next couple weeks. But I personally didn't think it was as great as it's being hyped up to be personally. Great performances, really good chemistry, it deals with death really, really well. It's just very, very slow and not terribly relatable for me personally. So, guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe once again if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.